What's up, everybody? Derek Anderson, the DA. And you know, this question right here, it really isn't a question, it's more of a statement. But this is on TMZ.com, and I'll link it in the description. Disney's Strange World hard flop at the box office, and the LGBTQ character is to be scapegoated. And they're like, what? It's this? You're gonna scapegoat this character for this giant flop? What are you guys doing out there? And yeah, the reason that this thing is going to flop in the box office is primarily not just because of this one single character. Let's be clear about this. The real reason is this little company right here called Disney, okay? Nobody trusts Disney anymore for their family entertainment. That's the bottom line. That's what it is, okay? All my kids right now are adults, okay? Youngest is 18. And I was sitting and wondering, like, if I had little ones right now, like, what would I take them to the theaters to watch, right? Like, when my kids was coming up, we was watching Shrek. You know, we was watching that. We was watching the beginning of the whole Despicable Me kind of franchise. And those are the films that we went through and watched for kids. And then there was still some Disney stuff that you can go and check out. Finding Nemo, Toy Story, The Incredibles, Monsters Incorporated. Y'all remember when Disney used to do that kind of stuff? But nowadays, like, what the hell is there for kids to watch? Because I sure as hell wouldn't trust Disney whatsoever. Let's go ahead and check out this article real quick. So they say Disney's newest animation movie, which features an openly gay character, got crushed at the box office, and the LGBTQ crowd is worried this might have been the plan all along. We're talking about Strange World, which came out this weekend to abysmal ticket sale numbers, raking in just 18.6 million over the 5-day weekend starting Wednesday. That's well behind projections, where Strange World was supposed to be coming in at $30 to $40 million. Now, according to reports, the film is expected to end up in the red long term, somewhere in the ballpark of at least $100 million. That's a huge loss right there. That's a huge, humongous loss, considering the $180 million budget and marketing expenses. It's that same marketing, however, that's got allies upset at the Mouse House. They feel there wasn't a peep about this flick pre-release, and that it's no wonder it tanked. In fact, some are going into conspiracy mode, suggesting Disney was banking on a failure. Here's the theory. Disney could use the poor performance as rationale to not include LGBTQ characters going forward, pointing to this new character, Ethan, as evidence to back the would-be decision. Out there, we know, but that's a legit convo taking place right now. First of all, Disney is woke, okay? Disney is woker than woke. They the wokest ones, all right? So there ain't no chance in the world, oh, Disney, they just tried to sabotage this movie. They wouldn't have made the thing in the first place if they didn't want to put out LGBTQ characters. They just would have never made this thing. I don't know where these clowns are getting. Where do these people, where do y'all get this logic from? Oh, Disney was trying to sabotage a movie that they poured $180 million into. That makes absolutely no sense, okay? That's first of all right? Now, the second part, look, you didn't need a bad box office for this particular film to come to that conclusion. And that bad box office doesn't necessarily prove anything, okay? Because the fact of the matter is, people are tuning out of Disney. Disney has gotten highly political, and they're trying to force agendas and topics down people's throats that they simply don't want, all right? And that's just the bottom line. Of course, there's no evidence to support this, at least not yet. Still, some are floating it anyway and think Disney was looking for an excuse for less representation on screen. So this tweet right here, and I'll jump over to it, from Patrick Bet David, said, took the kids to the movies today to watch a Disney cartoon called Strange World. Within 10 minutes of the movie, my 10-year-old son said, Dad, I have no desire to watch this movie. Can we leave? We left. The leaders at Disney have forgotten who the paying customer is. I think they know exactly who the paying customer is. But I think what they're trying to do is they're trying to now push agendas that they believe are important into mainstream children's content in hopes that they are going to somehow revolutionize things, change the world, whatever you want to talk about. The folks that are inside Disney, that's their goal. Their goal is not to entertain you anymore. We've been saying that for a long time. The goal is to kind of push their narratives, their agendas on you so that you as the paying customer have no choice, okay? You're kind of forced into this box of watching whatever it is that Disney wants to put into your face. You know, of course, like all of the comments have to do with this guy saying, you know, I have no desire to watch this movie. You know, Father, I have no desire to watch this movie. You know, I kind of laughed at that statement as well. That might not not be how the kid put it. The kid probably just said, yeah, I don't want to watch this, Dad. And this isn't interesting. Can we get up out of here? You know, you'd be amazed the kind of stuff that comes out of 10-year-olds' mouth. Maybe that's just the way they talk. I don't know. But the reality is that, yeah, what this guy is saying is that Disney has forgotten who the paying customer is, right? And I've made mention of this before when I did a previous video. Studies suggest larger families have more what? Conservative views. You know, families are more conservative, okay? And I'll link that video. It was me talking about Lightyear. I'll link that video above so you guys can check it out. But yes, families are more conservative than they are liberal or progressive, okay? Like, families are not wilding out like that, right? They're not wilding out. You got young children. You're trying to generally protect them from all kinds of stuff, and you want to bring your family values into the way that they're raised. Most families, okay, especially the people having kids nowadays, these are more like, hey, I had a great time growing up. I enjoyed my childhood. Yeah, sure, we're going to make some adjustments towards the current time, some adjustments, all right? But we're not just going to be out there going crazy. Your values are probably going to mirror your parents. And the fact of the matter is, with all of the stuff that you see going on the progressive side of the ledger, they aren't interested in like having families, you know? There's more abortion rights coming out of that. People are just delaying parenthood all the way while they build up their careers and all of that kind of stuff. These aren't the people having children, okay? The people having children, generally speaking, they don't want to expose their kids to social agendas unless those are the agendas they believe themselves, okay? They're not trying to push a lot of agendas on their children, and that's what you see going on in the schools and everything. All of this stuff relates to one another. Whether this guy's kid actually uttered these exact words or not is really irrelevant, because the chances are is his kid said, I don't want to watch this. This is dumb. I'm bored. Can we leave? Whatever he said, he had no desire to watch this movie, all right? And that's echoed across the board. You see what this thing is getting in the rating, Strange World? This thing is sitting on like 1.7 in the ratings, okay? Rotten Tomatoes, we saw that video, okay, where the audience score was the lowest score in audience score history, all right? I'll go ahead and link that video up there too. And yeah, now it's kind of making a comeback. All the bots are starting to, we saw that joint was at 58. Now the bots are trying to boost it up, sitting up at 64 now. Oh, we got a nice little fresh bucket of popcorn. Yeah, who knows how many bots jumped in here and started promoting this thing because of those articles that came out. Who knows? The fact that it was there to begin with is the problem. Naturally, there's another side of the discussion, the go woke, go broke faction, who've been thumping their chest about Disney's effort to include more diversity in its characters of late, which they think is the real reason for flops like this and Lightyear, amongst others. The good news, Bob Chapek is out as CEO and Bob Iger is back in, something that just about everyone seems to be happy about. Time will tell if the move affects future offerings. Listen, I don't think it's going to affect anything, okay? All of this stuff got greenlit by Bob Iger, okay? Bob Chapek wasn't in charge of this thing coming out. He's barely been the CEO for about a year, maybe a little bit less than a year. The fact of the matter is that this is all under Iger, okay? And now the question becomes, where do families go for entertainment? If you're a family, right, and you have kids, like, where do you go in this particular era of woke Hollywood? They have absolutely ripped the family values out of all mainstream entertainment, okay? They don't care about that. They're pushing politics. They're pushing social agendas. They're foisting all of this on these hapless families who just want to say, hey, I used to go to movies when I was a kid with my mom and dad. I would like to be able to do the same thing with my kids today. But I can't, because you can't go to Disney no more, right? So who are you going to? No, maybe it's DreamWorks, right? The bad guys, they just dropped this year, had a 93% audience score. Look, look at that. Kids and family, right? That's your target audience. We're targeting kids. We're targeting families. That's who we're trying to sell this to. Or maybe it's Illumination, right? Illumination Studios. They came out with Minions, okay? Most audiences liked it for the most part, 89%. Kids and family, right? That's who you're targeting this movie for. So far, so good for these types of films. These guys seem to understand who their target audience is, right? But it seems like Disney has just completely lost the plot. They've completely forgotten it. The good news, I think, for you parents is you're probably not going to have to twist your kids' arms and tell them that, no, you can't see that. You can't see Strange World. Nope, sorry, the answer is no. You're probably not going to have to do that because most people are saying this movie is boring and it sucks, okay? It's not going to get the social currency that it needs, okay, to get a word of mouth going so that a lot of kids feel like, oh, man, I didn't get to see Strange World. I feel left out of the loop, okay? You're not going to get any of that. Trust me, okay? Because that's what really promotes all of that stuff, right? The kids ain't talking about it. This stuff falls falls flat, okay? You're not going to be selling any toys. You're not going to be doing any dress up, none of that stuff, okay? And that's what fuels Disney, and that's what fuels family entertainment. Think about how many Shrek lunchboxes and Shrek this and that you bought or you got when you were a kid, okay? Or that you bought for your kids. You're not going to get any of this crap for Strange World, let me tell you that. But anyway, folks, what do you think about this topic? Who do you go to for family entertainment these days? This is a legit question. I want to see some answers in the comments below. All right, thanks for watching. See you next time.